This project is called 5 Lines and 3 Circles. In this project, we're really going to test the pressure of our hand, mixing colors, and adding shadows. We're also testing how we plan color. If you'll notice from my example, if I have a white area, I try to make sure that there are no other white areas touching it. If I have a pink or a magenta fading into white, I try to make sure that the areas around it are different. You really have to think and plan to try to make the areas around a section different so that they don't accidentally get lost and look like one big section. So this is where we are going to create a color scheme and make a mental plan. I don't want your project to look exactly like mine. I don't want your circles to be in the same place as mine or your lines. For virtual students, you need to find 3 objects in your home that are round that you can trace. This is the only time that I let you trace things. It's just for the sake of getting a shape on the paper. Things that I have in my art studio that students are going to trace are things like the paint trays and also the outer and inner circles of mason jar lids. You are going to put 3 circles of different sizes on your paper. The different circles don't have to be particularly spread that far apart. In this case, I have my small circle overlapping one of my larger circles. So start off simply with putting 3 different circles of different sizes on your paper. Pause the video until you trace 3 different types of circles on your paper. Don't make them super small. Find some things around the house to have 3 different size circles. Put them in whatever type of placement that you want. Then you need to take something straight like a ruler to draw against, and you need to add 5 lines to your paper. I have lines going in various different directions. There's one line, there's another one. One's going straight up and down, one's at a slight angle, one's going not perfectly across, but somewhat across the whole page. They're intersecting. Put your 5 lines, divide the paper into 5 different sections on top of the circles. Don't do it exactly where I did it. I want you to start doing your own stuff with your own ideas. Now you need to sharpen your black colored pencil because you're now going to outline all the circles and re-outline your lines darker. I'll do a before and after. This is before I do my outlines. Now I have my outlines. Well, Miss Rochelle, how do I know what types of blends to put inside of my different sections? Well, you have an image on Schoology that has a lot of suggestions for what you can put into each individual section. You do not have to choose magenta and blue like I have in my example. You can choose any 2 colors you want plus the color black to fade in some areas. The first option that you can do for certain sections is to fade your color number 1 into your color number 2. And this is an example of it done lightly, medium pressure, and heavy pressure. Yes, I know heavy pressure is an option, but just because you can do heavy doesn't mean that it's interesting to do everything in heavy pressure. Maybe just have little small spurts of heavy pressure sections. It's not meant to make the whole thing where you push down really, really hard. I'm really trying to get y'all away from always using heavy, but it is an option for certain sections. You could do one section like this in heavy, and then skip some sections over and do another section with the medium, skip some sections over, and then do one section in light. Another option is to have one of your colors fading into black. You can do that lightly in a medium pressure or a heavy pressure. I'll go ahead and do an example of that real fast. Let's see, I'll choose this shape right here. I'll do a light pressure fading into black. So let's see, let me make sure I'm in the shot. So I'm going to choose my color number 1, which is magenta, because I'm making sure that this is a light pressure fading into black. I have small circles, ever so light. You always want to do a powder layer. Even if you do a heavy pressure, it's still important to always do a powder layer and then slowly add on top. So I have this light level 1 magenta. Then I have options. Do I want to fade the black going down this way? Do I want to fade the black going this way, that way? Do I want to have some black fading this way? And then I'll do an option like this, like I'll do some really light black fading from this corner up, fading into the magenta, and then I'll come over here and I'll do another little fade of black going into my main color. So not only do you have options about what kinds of colors fade into one another, you have options of what directions the fades are going to be. So I have a bit of an abrupt edge, so I'm going to blend that in a little bit better so that it's not so abrupt. That's pretty much what you do, guys, on the whole thing. You have all of these options to choose from to put inside of these different individual sections. But the thing is because I did a main color into a black, I don't want to do another magenta into a black right here. I want to do something different so that it'll stand out more. So let's take a look at some more of our options. You also can do one of your main colors fading into complete whiteness. You can also take the black in some areas and fade that into complete whiteness. In my complete finished example, I did that right here. It's complete blackness. It's just a little bitty piece that fades into complete whiteness. You also can have certain sections be solid colors. You can have a solid light version, medium version, or heavy version of a color. This section here is a complete solid medium pressure of magenta. And then you can also have a solid white and a solid black. I have a couple of areas that are solid white throughout to have a nice variety. I have just one little area that's a solid black though. Whenever you make an area solid black, it really makes the eye go to it instantly. So you can, little spurts of solid black are pretty good, but really large areas of solid black is really gonna drown out your whole image. The other options are to completely blend either your two colors together, one color and a black. I have that here. The magenta and the blue together just make this purple. It's just a solid purple. And yeah, the solid purple does fade into a magenta. There's even more varieties of this. I mean, if you count all of these and multiply them together, that's how many options you can do. I'm trying to show you just how much you can do with just two colors and a black. There's endless possibilities of variety to make your artwork look absolutely stunning. Fill up your whole paper using those different options. Yes, you can repeat some of the options. It's not like it's a checklist where you have to mark them off every time you use them. When you've completed your whole paper using those colored options and varieties, I want for you to take a photo of this and upload it and submit it into the folder where it says Submit Work.